Hey Ducky, it's a cozy Sunday. It's a cozy Sunday. We just left off with the Israelites departing Egypt. They made it several miles away. Now let's see where they're headed and what is facing them at this time. Let's go ahead and start with a quote that will foreshadow perfectly with what this little section here is about. All right. Oh, what is that sound which so thrills the ear? Down in the valley, drumming, drumming? Oh, the scarlet soldiers dear, the soldiers coming. Oh, what is that sound? By Undine. And we can't tell if the soldiers coming is a good thing in this quote. I think it might be, but the soldiers coming in this section is definitely not a good thing. Let's go ahead and discuss to see what happens. So God led the people around the desert toward the Red Sea. The Israelites went up to Egypt ready for battle. Hold on. Let me just make sure I phrase that correctly here. Chapter 13. Went up out of Egypt. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, went up out of Egypt, ready for battle. So the Israelites are ready for battle. They're expecting Pharaoh not to take them just all leaving so abruptly and lightly, even though he was so distraught in the last reading, right? He said, just go away. But no, they're a little bit wiser than that. They know that he is going to come after him. Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, because Joseph had made the Israelites swear an oath. He had said, God will surely come to your aid, and you must carry my bones up with you from this place. And as we remember so fondly, Joseph is the person who actually brought the Israelites into Egypt, and they lived many generations happily and gracefully and peacefully, and then things gotten a little out of hand near the end of the famine, right? Things got a little out of hand and things started to shift, especially after Joseph's death. But on his deathbed, this wasn't really said so abruptly from what I can remember, but he's recalling something that Moses is recalling something that Joseph had told, his ancestors essentially. God will come to your aid, and you must carry my bones up with you from this place. So Moses had remembered that and actually took Joseph's bones with them. They must have dug them up and taken them out. When the king of Egypt told that the people had fled, when the king of Egypt was told that the people had fled, Pharaoh and his officials changed their minds about them and said, "What have we done? We have let the Israelites go and have lost their services." So again, we discussed the great mass of people that were leaving, right? They were leaving Egypt, and there were so many people. There was like 600,000 of them, not including women and children. But just these 600,000 alone, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of free labor that he let go of. So he's realizing this and realizing that they've made a great mistake, and we'll see what happens after this. So he had his chariot made ready, and he took his army with him. He took 600 of the best chariots, along with all the other chariots of Egypt, with officers over all of them. All right, so he's up and he's at it. He's taken his soldiers. As Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up, and there were the Egyptians marching after them, and they were terrified and cried out to the Lord. So the Israelites made it all the way to the bed of the Red Sea, just kind of right before it. They stopped to camp because it was a little bit of a distance. They were kind of catching their breath for a bit, and they look up and they see the Egyptians dooming ahead, or whatever that, coming towards them. And they were very, very scared. They were like, "Oh, we should have just stayed." They're cursing Moses, like, why did you do this to us? Basically, they're very scared. They're not prepared for battle. I mean, it's not just men, right? Women and children, elderly people, they were not prepared to face an entire massacre or a war. But that was what was going on in their heads. Very frightened. And then that is it for this little section here. Just 5 minutes long. I'm wondering if I should do maybe one more. I want to kind of continue through all of these today, but let me just see. Yeah, let's go ahead and maybe do one more. Then maybe I'll come on later tonight and wrap up this part here. Alright, let's go on to part 5. I'll catch you in a second.